There is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. There is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. There is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve.
Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. He believed Apple's App Store was safe. Then a fake app stole his life savings in Bitcoin. Goldman Sachs is close to offering Bitcoin and other digital assets to its wealth management clients. But first, the price of Bitcoin is down 0.76% in the last 24 hours. With a last of 58,682, a high of 59,899, and a low of 56,826. That's $1 for 1,703 Satoshis. Volume was at 7,051 Bitcoins changing hands. The market continues to lean long, with 94% headed that direction. Bitcoin dominance is at 81%. 17 Satoshis for a penny. He believed his Apple App Store was safe. Then a fake app stole his life savings in Bitcoin. Philip Christodoulou wanted to check his Bitcoin balance last month, so he searched the App Store on his iPhone for TREZOR, the maker of a small hardware device he uses to store his cryptocurrency. Up popped the company's padlock logo set against a bright green background. The app was rated close to 5 stars. He downloaded it and typed in his private key. In less than a second, nearly all of his life savings, 17.1 Bitcoin, worth $600,000 at the time, was gone. The app was a fake, designed to trick people into thinking it was a legitimate app. So we talk about this all the time. Never enter your private keys into a system you don't trust. You should really never enter your private keys. The only time you should enter your private keys is when you're setting up a new wallet or if you're transferring an old wallet to a new wallet. And you should always be aware that you're doing those things. I feel sorry for this guy, and it's too bad he lost his money. But the fact that he had 17.1 and all he needed to remember was that number. 17 times the price of Bitcoin is the amount of money I have. But he couldn't remember that number. He had to check it on his phone. He overcame his TREZOR by somehow exporting his private key from his TREZOR, which again, they have warnings on. So he ignored those warnings. Then he entered his private key into his phone, essentially giving away his money. So caveat emptor, buyer beware. Goldman Sachs is close to offering Bitcoin and other digital assets to its wealth management clients. The bank begins to offering investments in the emerging asset class in the second quarter, according to Mary Rich, who was recently named Global Head of Digital Assets for Goldman's Private Wealth Management Division. Goldman is looking at ultimately offering a full spectrum of investments on Bitcoin and other digital assets, whether that's through the physical Bitcoin, derivatives, or traditional investment vehicles. What physical Bitcoin? Some Goldman clients feel like we're sitting at the dawn of a new internet in some ways, and we're looking to participate in this space. If only they hadn't mocked us for over a decade. Where were you 5 years ago, Goldman? Where were you 10 years ago? What does this show about your ability to predict the future now? Seems like you're following. Seems like you're behind. Bitcoin may be very close to an intermediate, near-term top, says analyst. I think most of these things are gimmicky right now. Bitcoin's high degree of volatility means transactions on platforms such as PayPal will be infinitesimally small compared to regular currency. Even so, the rally in crypto is perhaps getting a little long in the tooth. The CME announced plans Tuesday to launch micro Bitcoin futures in May, valued at 1/10 of one Bitcoin. A move like that could rattle Bitcoin's price, whether investors like it or not. As the analyst says, I think we're very, very close to perhaps an intermediate term top here. A little bit of a correction is certainly due at this point. The level to watch on the downside is $52,000, according to Matt Maley, chief strategist at Miller Tabak, said in the same Trading Nation interview. If it breaks below that level, it's going to be a big warning flag, giving Bitcoin its first lower low of the year after a series of higher highs and higher lows over the past 6 to 8 months. Bitcoin uses as much money as Sweden and is on course to use even more. Experts say that's a major problem for people who write articles about Bitcoin. We keep seeing this, we keep hearing it over and over again. Banks use more energy than Bitcoin. PlayStations that are left on and not used use more energy than Bitcoin. Christmas lights use more energy than Bitcoin. All kinds of things we do that waste energy use more energy than Bitcoin, and these articles never take into account the positive things that we get from Bitcoin: ending central banking, ending inflation, giving the people their money. It's easy to add up the number of Bitcoin miners and multiply it times the number of years. It's simple math. You might even say it's for simple people. But we keep hearing about this every week. They keep writing new articles, and they're so excited to tell us all about their brand new FUD. That's right. Bankers and other competitors to Bitcoin are worried about Bitcoin, so they've resorted to FUD. Yes, FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's a propaganda tactic used in sales, marketing, public relations, politics, polling, and cults. FUD is generally a strategy to influence perception by disseminating negative and dubious or false information, and a manifestation of the appeal to fear. Let's see. Bitcoin uses as much energy as Sweden and is on course to use even more. So we have false or true-ish, true-like information, excluding the comparison to the banks here. And then we have the more fear. It's on course to use more. Well, how do they know that? Let's say that Bitcoin goes completely hydroelectric next year. Oh, it used less. Let's say Bitcoin already uses renewables such as hydroelectric power that's actually wasted as the river keeps running and the batteries are full. Well, then Bitcoin would actually improve the environment. It would use unused electricity, so it wouldn't really matter how much it used. Again, this FUD just keeps coming back up, and we're trying to make you aware of it as much as they're trying to make you aware of their propaganda. So they're going to repeat it over and over again. As George W. Bush said, we've got to catapult the propaganda. Got to go over their walls and their senses and their things that protect them from propaganda and convince them of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Check out shop.worldcryptonetwork.com, where we've got World Crypto Network, the t-shirt, Trezors Don't Float, and the HAL Finny mug and collection. Check it out at shop.worldcryptonetwork.com. The price of Bitcoin is down just 0.6% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 58,700, a high of 59,899, and a low of 56,826. That's $1 for 1,704 Satoshis. Volume was at 7,046 Bitcoins changing hands. The market continues to lean long, with 94% headed that direction. Bitcoin dominance was at 80%. Be sure to give us a thumbs up down below. It's free and it really helps the show, so please push the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new here today, we do these news updates pretty much every day for at least 7 or 8 years now. Please consider subscribing down below. Until next time, bye-bye.